Hi everyone, this is a demo about how to draw fire. It's really important when you draw to go ahead and make sure to always look to the internet or make sure you're always looking at something. You can start by using your pencils to just kind of replicate with risky lines kind of what you see in a flame. Now, fire is always moving, so you really gotta work off of a picture if you're gonna capture it, right? So I'm drawing this kind of area right here, and I'm trying to capture that flame. And you see how some sort of disappears in the background, kind of curving around, and having those swift kind of ellipsy lines can help to capture fire. Some flames are further forward and some are farther back. And you just go ahead and with those wavy lines, repeating those wavy lines, you start to capture fire. Now, if you notice, like in the front right here, there are bigger, swifter lines kind of in the front. Let me zoom out. And a lot of what helps us understand fire is the background, because fire is kind of like so bright. And you guys have oil pastels. So surrounding fire with some black oil pastels will help it, and like a smoky kind of area. And the oil pastels are really great for kind of getting that smoky sort of effect. But you want to, wherever the fire isn't, you want to first, shade that background dark before you bring in any sort of color. Now, it's tricky because if you're bringing in black value, dark value may be hard. Okay. Okay, and then, oops, it really has to do with the colors that you're choosing. Choosing the right color pastel. So what you want to do when you're drawing the fire is you want to make sure you're using the right colors. Now with oil pastel, you want to make sure you have a lot of white first. It's like a ton of white. So you want to put that white color inside and kind of blend that in, because fire more than anything is white. And so you want to really blend that in. Can I get a whiter white? Let's see. And you want to blend in your white first. So kind of like really smear that white around. Now you see the white's kind of popping out because I have that black background. You may want to start by doing the white, to be honest, because the black will bleed in. Okay, so twisting this. So blending the oil pastels in. And then you want to go ahead, you want to, on top of the white, start to blend in your oranges. Let's see if we can get some orange. And you want to blend that orange into the white. And really lightly kind of blend it on top. Just kind of paint it, blend it in. Right, and then work in your red. Oh, that is not fire red. So you need the right kind of red. Right, like an orangey red. And, the harder you press, the thicker it's going to be. Right, but maybe kind of blend lightly, do a light pressure blend of the orange and the yellow on top. And you see, like, I have a lot of, like, red sort of in the background. It seems like I have more yellow in the front. So let me see if I can get some of this bright yellow. But I also have a lot of white. So I have, like, some yellow down at the bottom. And when you're practicing drawing something like a metaphor, you want to kind of work big first. And I really can't emphasize, like, white. Like, the more white you have, like, putting it on top, the better. Maybe I want to put some more yellow in there. Oops, that was supposed to be yellow. You can also, and then surround your fire with that black pastel. Really paint it in. I see I have some, like, black in the front too. It's like fire comes out of nowhere. And really color the space around the fire so it pops out and it starts to look like fire. Fire is mostly white. So by coloring the space where the fire isn't, I hope this is recording. Yeah, I think it's recording. So you want to color the space where your fire isn't. So it really has a lot to do with your color. Now again, the black, you don't want to bleed the black in. So you want these, like, big waves with the pastel. I would be careful with that black. And notice how we have these random flicks of fire going up. And as I said before, you want heavy white. Heavy white. A lot of white. It's going to be hard for you to do white on the black. And you could do some light pressure blending with the white. A lot of yellow. A lot of yellow. And you're kind of like playing with blending different colors. I could work on this forever, seriously. So by coloring the background, you're going to start to get that fiery feel. Because see, it starts to pop once you give those crisp, hard boundary edges at the side. So here I am shading at the side. Really do a lot of pressure with your oil pastels. Pressing down at the side. And, you know, your movement of your lines in the background, oh, that's cool. You could go ahead and put in stipplings in the background to get that kind of like popping. Maybe you want to do stipples with the orange and really do a lot of pressure. Get this idea of smoke coming up. So you could go ahead and really add that texture. It gives us the impression that the fire is kind of shooting up. And then we can have some of like a darker value. And like in the background, like have like that expressive line sort of shooting the fire up. See, every once in a while we see some of that yellow in there. But it's starting to get brown and mucky because we got a lot of black happening. You know. So it's hard to blend into the black. So once again, watch out for that black. But your key is really going to be white. You know, and you really want to add that white first. Apply a lot of white to your page. And the white kind of like gives movement to the fire. And I guess that's something that I want to leave you with is you really want to think about movement when you're drawing fire, because that's one of the reasons why it's so hard to draw. Fire in itself is something that is constantly moving, and how do we show movement? With like a lot of expressive lines. So you're getting really free. You're not worried about messing up. And then once again, to reiterate, your background kind of really helps us to understand that it's fire because you're cropping the background. You're cropping the edge. So once you've done all that red, really go to the edge with your pastel and do a strong, hard boundary at the edge. So we understand, oh, that is the edge of the fire. I would be interested if you guys told me like how it works out when you are blending with black. You could also do blue in the background because like blue is a complement. There's a lot of black pastel on here though now, so it's hard to get blue in. But you could kind of, blue and orange are sort of complements, so that might help the fire to come out. If you're not interested in using black, black with pastels can be really muddy. Oops. And you know what? Don't worry about making a mistake. Just kind of go with it. And practice. This is why it's so important to practice drawing your metaphors before you start to design your mask or experiment with the pastels, right? Because things might go wrong. And try different things. But with fire, it's all about like different color combinations. And you keep playing. But yeah, really having that visual movement around really helps. So if you're doing a mask with fire, you would want to have that these expressive red lines like around the mask and kind of really try to blend the complements together. So orange and blue are opposites, or green. Green would be a complement to this red. And it's so much of fire is about color and movement. And that expressive line, and then really having that hard boundary at the edge. Okay, and really combine, and you got to use a lot of white. A lot of white. Ooh, that's like a white green. Like white. And really blend heavy white first with your expressive lines. Heavy white. Okay, I hope that's a good start. You can't go wrong with too much white, and then work in the yellows. And just play around with it. Okay, how to draw fire.